I'd like to welcome everybody to the Matawan Avenue Regional School District Board of Education regular action meeting at 6:30 on May 24th, 2021. Please stand. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Public Open Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or agreed upon. In accordance with the provision of this act, the Matawan Avenue Regional School Board District of Education advertised this meeting on January 8th, 2021 in the Asbury Park Press and the Star Ledger. This notice was sent to the municipal clerks in the Borough of Manhattan and the Township of Aberdeen and the Matawan Avenue Public Library. This notice was also placed on the district's website. Will we please have a roll call?
Dr. Delaney? Ms. Friedman?
Here.
Ms. Martinez? Here. Mr. Ronco?
Here.
Ms. Osbourne?
Here.
Ms. Bridgewater?
Here.
Ms. Whalen?
Here.
Mrs. Foley? Here. Mr. Ahern?
Here. Can I have a motion and a second to accept the minutes stated on the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Friedman?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Ronco?
Here.
Ms. Osbourne?
Yes.
Ms. Bridgewater?
Yes.
Ms. Whalen?
Here. Yes. Sorry.
Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mr. Ahern?
Yes. There is no correspondence to the board, so we'll jump right to student rep. Ms. Yunan, are you on?
Yes, hi. How are you guys?
doing?
Good. How was everyone tonight?
All right.
Okay. So this month, there's been a lot going on in our district this month. It's all very exciting. So we're going to start off with the high school. So this past Friday in the high school, the senior civic leaders, we hosted the Parents of Special People dance, and it was a huge success. All the students, parents, teachers, and civic leaders in attendance had an amazing time. It was a lot of fun. And I think that we would love to host another one if we have a chance, but we'll have to wait until next year. This week of the high school biology classes is beginning, and our theme is music genres. So the seniors are country music, the juniors are rock, sophomores are hip hop, and the freshmen are pop. Today was wearing the class color that coordinated with the theme. Tomorrow is Twin Day. Wednesday is Spirit Day, where students will wear their favorite Husky merch. Wednesday we're also going to be running Tweet Tune, which is an activity we did a few years ago, where we're going to be playing music through the speakers through the passing periods, and first students to tweet the name of the song will gain a point for their grade for battle classes. Thursday we're going to be doing wacky hair and wacky socks, and Friday's going to be our big finale, where students are going to dress like their theme and participate in events including a pie eating contest, a relay race, and a dance. So that's super exciting because we didn't really get to do that last year. So we're really excited to get back into the groove of BOTC. Next up, we have the middle school. So at the middle school, the PTSO book fair is being held tonight, and the Good Mood food truck is going to be present. And NAMS also has started full days of school with lunch served, and that also goes for high school, and that's been really, really exciting to see everyone back in the building, and it's been very well received by students. And the NAMS play was just held yesterday. I'd like to congratulate the cast and the crew on a successful show. At Lloyd Road, there's a virtual talent show being held on Tuesday night, tomorrow, on the 25th at 6 p.m. There are 30 pre-recorded students and 4 staff acts that will be shown, and the student council members will help introduce them. A very special thank you to the music teacher, Miss Levine, for putting this together, and to the student council for partnering for the introduction of each act. At Cliff Lloyd, their fun day is this Friday on the 28th, which is super exciting. Students will be participating in fun games, activities, indoors and outdoors, and it's a great tradition to have for students to look back on. I remember being in Cliffwood and us having our fun day. It's a lot of fun. Cliffwood is also having a movie night on June 2nd. They'll be watching Matilda, which was this year's One School, One Book title. This is a Title I event, and all of the students are welcome. Cliffwood's third grade picnic is also on June 10th, and this year's event should be extra special. The third graders are heading to Veterans Memorial Park in Cliffwood Beach, and this is going to be a lot of fun and a memorable day for the students as they get ready to attend Lloyd Road. Moving on to Ravine Drive, on May 14th, Ravine was excited to have the author Dan Miller come to their classrooms, virtually of course, to discuss how he created his books and how students can learn to become authors as well. Ravine would like to thank their PTO for sponsoring this event. On May 24th, today actually, Ravine is also excited to have their art show on display for the hybrid students and on display for the fully virtual students, as well as all the Ravine Drive families. They'd like to thank Mrs. Avery, the art teacher, for arranging this event. In addition, throughout the week of May 24th, Ravine Drive will have their Fun Week events for their in-person students and for remote students. They'd like to thank Mrs. Church and Mrs. Saravia for making all the arrangements for these events. Next up, we have Strathmore. The Strathmore Olympics have begun and will be ending on Friday, May 28th. Students will be participating during the week during physical education and health classes to compete for gold, silver, and bronze medals. The closing ceremony will conclude with medals and an assembly sponsored by the Strathmore PTO. The third grade students completed the COGAT assessment last week, which is a big, probably weight off their shoulders, so that's pretty exciting. And the third grade students are getting ready for their third grade celebration on June 7th. Kindergarten students are preparing for the kindergarten celebration on June 16th. And also we have Cambridge Park. Last week, all 4-year-olds moving up to kindergarten visited their future elementary schools for their kindergarten experience. And this was the first time that students really got that full school experience where they rode on a bus, walked through the hallways, and it felt what it was like to sit at an actual lunch table and eat in the cafeteria. The students returned to Cambridge Park and the YMCA, and they were super excited to talk to their 3-year-old friends about what it was like. And the next 4 weeks are busy for students in the preschool. There's going to be a fun day, moving up ceremonies for parents to celebrate with their children, and they even have a bubble man visiting thanks to the PTO. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
All right, the executive session, I'm moving down to the bottom right above the adjournment. So we're going from that, right after this, we're going into superintendent's report. Dr. Mike.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to call up Mr. Jarabek and Ms. Riola to tell us about some stuff going on at Lloyd.
I'm waiting for the feedback.
Yeah, sure.
So, good evening. I'm Joe Jarabek. I'm the Lloyd Road School Principal. And tonight we are going to start off by recognizing the fantastic achievements by our Lloyd Road School debate team members, as well as our advisor, Ms. Rayola. They put in many hours after school practicing. It was all virtual this year, so it makes it even more of a challenge. But then also on the weekends, especially for the competitions that they had. So we wanted to, of course, recognize all the achievements. We can see them here. So I'm going to invite up Ms. Rayola right now to help recognize the team members.
Good evening. My name is Tessa Ballard, and I'm a fourth grader at Lloyd Road Elementary School. Being a part of the Speech and Debate Club has been a great experience. Doing speech and debate has made me a more confident speaker in the chat. I wasn't surprised that Lloyd Road made it to the final and faced in many categories because I have amazing teammates and have been coached and trained. Debating for both the pro and con sides has let me look at arguments from multiple perspectives and gain a better understanding of both sides. Not only have I made lots of friends in the speech and debate club, but I've become a more outgoing person. I hope next year I can do speech and debate club again.
our team advisor. This would not have taken place without excellent preparation and extra directly due to you. And that trophy is heavy, so you need to come and take a look at it later. Okay? So now we're going to move into a few updates about Lloyd Road School, some of the things that have been going on, some of the good news for Lloyd Road. So we'll move into that. And some of you on the debate team have already seen it because you were involved in some of the debates. So in such a challenging year, we still had some great happenings going on at Lloyd Road School that we wanted to share with you this evening. And so, of course, starting off with the debate team, and here are our team members, we just recognized, into the additional. The next update I'd like to share is another piece of good news. Going back, I was wondering, when did I get notified about this beautification initiative by some of our students? And I look back, it was actually February 24th, and I remember opening up my email roughly a little after 4 o'clock to find an email, and this was part of the email, from Anaya and 4 of her friends, asking if an initiative to beautify the courtyard would be possible. And so I read through it, and this was just one of the slides, and I don't have all of them to share, but they provided the link, as you can see, to their full slide presentation of the proposal. And I was blown away. It was a fantastic proposal. And you think of what should be included in the proposal, and their sales pitch was excellent. We had the why, the proposed changes that they wanted to take place in the courtyard. It was very overgrown. And so their proposal included the changes, what we would need to make the changes, the cost, and then how to carry out the changes. And so after reading through it, I emailed them back and just said, I thought it was fantastic, reached back out to the teacher, and then went up and met with the class to hear from them in person on what they were thinking of doing to the courtyard. And just as impressed in person as it was through email. And so in that meeting, we met with the entire class. And just here's a slide that I just wanted to include. And when you think of student initiatives, really wanting to make a difference is an amazing goal, right? Here they tied in wanting to make a difference and then also setting goals. You can't ask for more than that from student leaders, and they truly are leaders. To be able to take the large space within the building and want to really transform it is fantastic. So this was one of their slides. This gets into some of the visuals. They went directly to work. They started to plan out exactly when they would work in the courtyard. Starting, you can see, even in the cold weather, they started to make some changes in the courtyard. These are some of the team members. Some also made some birdhouses to beautify as well. They started working in the planting beds that were overgrown. And then I included the planting bed up on top left because they were also kind enough to give, I think it was one day plant, I think it was 2 of the planting beds for our lead custodian, Mr. Harris, who has some corn growing, I believe some zucchini, and there's quite a few other vegetables that are also growing. You can see them starting to pop through now. They also gave him his own little brick there. I think it says Mr. John on there, if I remember right. So it was very kind of you, and he's so proud of that and looking forward to seeing what comes about. So that's our beautification project. And so they have a lot to be proud of. If you want to, after this, before you leave, just pop your head over right down this hallway to check out how the courtyard has come along. And when you look at use, we now have staff members going out during their lunch periods and sitting out there and enjoying their lunch in the courtyard. We're also holding some classes out there as well. And another update I'd like to share is our guidance department has been very busy this year, and so to share some of these pieces. I underlined about halfway down, really everything listed here is the goal, with the goal in mind, the continued emphasis on building a positive school climate and culture. And so when we go back up and look at some of those initiatives that we've had in place this year, even in such a crazy year where we're in and out of school, remote, hybrid and so on. This really goes back to starting last spring. Mrs. Olson, our assistant principal, and I met with the guidance counseling team, and we really revised our monthly character traits. We have a Student of the Month program. It's based on character traits. We decided to revise those and specifically align them to PBIF, positive behavior intervention supports. So we have, that is new this year, some of our themes. We emphasize each month, and then we name Students of the Month at the end of each month. Classroom-based lessons, that started mid-year once we got more in person, collaborating with the teachers. Conflict resolution was a tremendous emphasis this year, and so if students get into a conflict, we try not to directly receive consequences or discipline. A lot of times, just in like real life, we try to emphasize just being able to talk out our conflict and come to a resolution peacefully. So that was an emphasis. And another thing to highlight is just for appreciation and fun. Some things that the counseling team did was they went out and secured some gift certificates and other items to be able to raffle off to staff, just to add some fun during such a difficult year. Birthday recognition sounds simple, but just by recognizing staff birthdays, and next year we're looking to do that for students as well, gives it more of an elementary school atmosphere. So that was another piece. College and Career Wednesdays. I have a different slide on that, so I'll get more into that in a moment. That was an emphasis this year. Mindful Mondays, the counselors email out mindfulness ideas to staff every Monday that they can use either for themselves or with their students. And jumping ahead to looking to next year. Of course, we want to continue on all of the great things that we have going, but continue to add to it. This year, we chose to hold off on our mentoring program because the mentoring program involves staff members who are active mentors to students. And with being in and out of school, that was a challenge, so we decided to hold off and pause that this year. That will be back next year. I already mentioned the birthday recognition, starting to announce birthdays each month, school-wide. And then our counselors are in the process of administering a needs assessment to staff and then parents as well, to be able to then target areas for next year's guidance department and really school-wide. So that's guidance department updates for Lloyd Road. College and career. This was something new this year. Again, still signed up with our counselors and also talking to senior teachers to discuss this idea. And although when you look at 4th and 5th graders, it might seem like they're far away from a career choice. But really the ultimate goal is to just expose them to different ideas. And as mentioned here and underlined, it doesn't necessarily have to be specifically through college careers that you get through attending college. It can be a variety of different careers. And so to be able to expose them to all different careers, whether it's the trades or something through college, but then also to build background knowledge. We talk about background knowledge regularly when we're talking about reading, but it goes beyond including careers. And so also wanted to just highlight one of our classes reached out to some people in different careers and set up virtual sessions for their class to meet with people in those different jobs. And so that was a success. People from these different areas logged into a Google Classroom and then had conversations and questions and answers with those classes, with the 2 switch classes. So these are some things that we would like to expand on going forward. PTO. PTO is so crucial for any school, and our PTO has been fantastic this year, even though we could not have a lot of events in person. But they brought a lot more library books to our library. We were able to get our library circulation back up and running, where our classes can come and sign out library books. Right from the beginning of the year, we needed a new set of 4th and 5th grade novels, which started off our curriculum for language arts. They stepped up and helped us get new sets. Teacher appreciation, again, just all about appreciation. Fantastic week appreciating our teachers. There's some surprises for our 5th graders that our PTO they're in the process of setting up, including a memory book and a t-shirt and a few other things for our 5th grade promotion coming up. And just their willingness to always support, always reassuring us that they're there. And had a meeting with them last week, and they have set us up for success for next year, and most of the board positions are already filled for next year, which is fantastic. A few more pieces as we get closer to closing out. Summer orientations although we were not able to have orientation for incoming fourth graders this spring, or 5th to 6th, we are holding orientations in the summer, and so MAM's already set up their grade 6 orientation for August 26th, where students can go visit. And for 4th grade, we are also in the process of determining a date. It'll be late in the summer, early September. Once students receive their teacher placements, the 4th graders will be able to come and have the typical orientation that we've had in the past. They will be able to tour the building, see where their classes will be, and then find out more information about Lloyd Road as an incoming 4th grader. And to close it up, of course, as you know, we're finishing up this school year with full days of school, and so far so good. We're just about 2 weeks into the full days, and it seems to be going rather smoothly. It's definitely all hands on deck in order to make this happen. So before getting to some of the events, just want to thank a whole bunch of people, Central Office Administration, Central Office Secretaries, teacher assistants, custodians. We have so many people that are helping us making our lunch and recess happen. That is really where we needed the most support, to be able to have students supervised during lunch and recess, even though it's in the classroom. But we have central office coming over and helping pitch in. Ms. Wilson and I are having a blast doing out the recess as well, helping supervise the students. So again, thank you to everyone that's making it happen. And when you look at recess, that's something that I think as children we always remember, even ourselves, our recess days. And so it's great to have that back in action. And some of the events coming up, we have a virtual talent show as mentioned before. That's tomorrow. We're going to have an adjusted field day, so it's scaled down, but we still wanted to have something fun for the students. That is on June 4th, and that's going to happen during their special periods. And again, thank you to the PTO. We have 2 obstacle course blow-ups coming that are going to be incorporated into the field day activities that day. So that's going to be a blast. And lastly, finishing up, our grade 5 promotions, because we have 5 sessions going, because instead of our typical format, we have our partner classes walking through the promotions as a pair. And so that will be held in our gym this year, not the auditorium, but still looking forward to a fun day to finish out their career here at Lloyd Road. So those are the events and the updates for Lloyd Road from this year and closing out this year. So again, congratulations to all of our debate teams.
I want to thank the debate team for a job well done. Keep up the good work, because you still have the middle school and high school to go, and go win some more for us. And I'd like to thank Ms. Riola for all the time you put in to accomplish this. I know it wasn't easy doing a lot of this virtually and stuff, so we're eternally grateful. And Mr. Jarabek, as always, thank you for the job well done. We next have a presentation on esports. So normally we let everybody go unless they want to stay for the meeting, but I'd like the kids to stay and watch the esports presentation if you don't mind. It's short, 10 minutes, and it's something they can look forward to in the middle school and high school. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Rawls now.
Thank you, Dr. Micah. I just wanted to first of all say thanks to the Board of Education, good evening to the Board of Education. Thank you for providing us this time tonight to share some of our cool things that are happening at the middle school, specifically with esports. So good evening to everyone. Shout out to Lloyd Road, awesome job with the speech and debate. Ms. Rayola, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. It was good to see that presentation tonight, and now we get a chance to share with the community some of the things that we're doing here in Matawan Academy Middle School with esports. Back in September, I had an opportunity to present to this Board of Education and to the community the possibility of beginning an esports program. And I just have to give, like a huge shout out to you all for believing in esports and believing in this program. When I tell you we are one of the first middle schools, or few middle schools here in Monmouth County who have an esports team that we're getting going. So shout out to you all and thank you for the support in terms of getting us up and going. With that said, Mrs. Bauer, the coaches at the middle school, along with Mr. Reynolds, have been doing a phenomenal job in terms of creating a vision for this program and getting young people involved. all with the basic belief of connecting young people to school. And we want to do all we can to continue to connect young people to school, and that is our goal, and that is our mission. We've had such a strong system of support. I started off by thanking the Board of Education, Dr. Michael, for believing in this project, but also at the building level. Shout out to Mr. Wells, who got behind this program. Mr. Averson, the vice principal over there, got behind this program. And then, of course, to the coaches and also the PTSO over there at the middle school got behind, supported us in many ways in terms of getting console and things like that so young people can play these video games and compete. And then it's like a collection of passion. You're going to hear from young folks tonight, and I think that's the most important thing. So, you know, you're not going to hear my voice all through this presentation. You're going to get a chance to hear from the coaches and from the students who are out there exploring this. And let me tell you, the students are really, really leading the way, as I'm sure the coaches are going to explain to you. And finally, you know, I titled this slide, Run Until We Finish, and we're going to finish in the winner's circle. And that's just something that, you know, Coach Bauer, Coach Reynolds, we've been talking about, and they're extremely passionate about getting our program to the top. We're just starting, so be patient with us, but we really have that goal of finishing at the winner's circle. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over now to Coach Bauer and Coach Reynolds, and then they're going to introduce you to the students who are going to be sharing some of their experiences with you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having us. Coach Reynolds and I have been so excited to share our eSport gamers with you. We have a few things that we have ready to go for you tonight. I want to share that we are in the beginning. The eSports is just beginning to launch all around the state. The league, Garden State Esports, is really solidifying and coming together. Next season, the schedule has already been put together. We know who we're ready to play. We have with us some of the kids who have been really guiding us in the process. While we are so passionate about offering these opportunities to kids, the kids that are with us here tonight have been instrumental in the case of Pratchett, really vital in the program getting up and running in any, getting up and running. Mr. Reynolds, do you want to jump in and kind of share the videos that we have organized for tonight?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody as well, just for the fact that, as Dr. Rolls just mentioned, this has really been a top-down everything. So everybody's been very supportive of what we've been trying to do. And we have hit road bumps, we have hit hurdles, but the kids have been, as Coach Bauer said, instrumental in all of this. So we were completely unprepared as to basically the platform that we were going to be working on, which is Discord. And these kids are like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to set up this. And Pratchett basically informed us and set up our Discord for us that we're now all able to communicate on. So the two, these are videos, they are a little bit long, but these are just a couple of examples. We don't have to play everything if we don't want to, but these are the kids just collaborating on a couple of builds that they did. So one of the students here, all of the students are called Dean and Farmer at the moment because we had to send per link out for them to be able to access. You can just see in the video that there's a bunch of kids there. They're going to be collaborating on the build that they have. So I believe this one is, I'm trying to get glitchy, so I have to stop my video sometimes. That they're going to be building a giant slice of pizza. So each week we would do something different. We were very fortunate that we were able to split the kids in Minecraft on one aspect and Rocket League on the other. The kids were kind of able to separate into two different things. We were able to go, we found a lot of work on Minecraft builds, or weekly builds that we were doing, because there's a go for a competition. You guys remember what that is? You guys when you basically kind of mousetrap, that you have to have something happen, and they were working on those builds each day. And then I was able to go to Minecrafters, learn a bunch of terminology. It's been an amazing experience just getting to know these kids as individuals. And you're going to hear from them and their passion really behind everything that they've been able to do this year so far.
Yeah, in fact, Dr. Rawls pointed out, this really isn't our presentation today. Today, we brought our gamers with us to talk to you about what this means to them and what the journey was like from their aspect. The second video, if you just want to leave it playing when the kids are talking, Raul, one of the students with us tonight, here at the board meeting built a server, and students, even though we are all remote and in different homes and on different Wi-Fis, were able to come together and build and construct and design. They were able to compete in regional competitions, and we were able to jump into some Minecraft competition this year and get some practice on that. What you see is a Minecraft Mr. Reynolds that the boys, Raul actually built it. And then as the video continues to play, you can see them as they had said give the drip to Mr. Reynolds, where he gets a gold chain and some sunglasses. But the goal is that even though we were remote and we were apart, they were together and they were able to collaborate together. And the same went for our Rocket League. But truly, enough from us. What I'd like to do is introduce each of our students that we have with us tonight and allow you to hear from them, right? And each of them has something so important that they want to share, and I'm really excited to do less talking and we'll let you hear from them. So I'd love to start. Pratchett, would you like to, Shirley would like to introduce our 8th grade student council president, and he is also one of our co-captains, one of the first e-sport co-captains for us here in Babylon in our e-sport team. Pratchett was my student-led PD this year. Pratchett, what can you share with the board what esports has meant to you?
Esports, it's like it was a new thing. It was really challenging for all of us at the beginning, so I want to thank the coaches and all the students for helping make esports like where it is today. And I know that it's still going to keep on growing, and it's still going to become much better and much bigger. Esports, it means a lot because it provides more opportunities to students who might not be good at something or another thing. Most students, when they come into the middle school, they have set goals in mind, like they want to be on the travel team for soccer or on the baseball team. Just like that, some students may have the goal to like play for the esports team, be a competitive Minecraft player, be a competitive Rocket League player. And esports, it just provides like more opportunities for everyone to get together and have fun at the same time.
Thank you, Pratchett, and thank you for helping us get together with this. He was our main Discord organizer. Okay, next I'd like to introduce Gavin. Gavin is actually one of our 6th graders. Gavin played both Minecraft. Minecraft people have some days, but then he also jumped into Rocket League. And I'm so glad that we get to keep him for 2 more years and continue to watch him grow as a gamer. Gavin, what would you like to share with us about your experience in esports this year?
Okay, so you know how we have banners for soccer, track and field, and baseball and soccer? We're hoping that maybe next year, the year after that, or some point in time at them, we could have an esports banner. Because esports are important to some people, just as baseball and soccer and track and sports like that. So someone may have a goal to play esports instead of doing what everyone else is doing, moving themselves from esports instead of all the other sports, because maybe they have a goal to play esports because that's what they're good at. They don't have to be forced to play whatever. Now they can have the option to play esports this year.
Thank you very much, Gavin. Yeah, so this was a very serious conversation, and a lot of our practices and our time spent together, we were having fun, as Pratchett mentioned too. But we really had to sit down and have to think about what it truly meant to them. And a lot of them went out and researched and took like a week and said, you know what, this is what it means to me. And we had a lot of great ideas and input and insight come from some of these kids. So thank you very much, Gavin. Next up, we will do Dylan. So Dylan, could you please share what it has meant to you?
I myself has grown up on games. And because of that, and along with the fact that I am quite shy, I have a hard time talking to people, esports has served as a vital way for me to, communicate with more people and meet others. Instead of having to put together some sort of common interest that's very vague, these are people who have the same passions as I do and want to achieve the same goals. So I can easily get to know them better, since we have a lot more common ground, that activities that I just don't care for.
Thank you, Dylan. So when we asked Dylan this question, his first thing was, he's like, well, being an introvert like myself. So now that we just forced him to talk in front of the Board of Ed, I feel a little bad. But thank you so much, Dylan. We really do appreciate it. But Dylan's been very instrumental on that too. And when I say these kids have conversations in other languages, they have conversations that Ms. Bauer and I do not understand. Listening to them talk about Minecraft, listening to them in a game of Rocket League, use the jargon that they do between each other, it is amazing. We're like, what was that? Huh? Can you say that one again so we can hear? So it's just really been awesome having the opportunity to work with them. And then last up is going to be Raul. Raul, are you there?
Hello. So the esports thing, for example, some days I felt very sad, tired in school, and for example, you get a bad grade on a test, and a quiz, you're always sad, but then at least you have something to look forward to later that day, to like play with your friends, have fun on the esports team like I have.
Raul is one of our master builders. Raul and Dylan are amazing at Java and the coding that they do. Raul custom designed for us the Minecraft server that you were watching the kids build together on. Much like right now you see in the background Rocket League being played, and Pratchett and Tim were instrumental in connecting everyone in the parties. Every Tuesday when we played in friendlies, the students were the ones who were really driving the technology to get us into the matches, and more often than not, Pratchett formed the parties and the codes that allow everybody to connect together and play. And each week when we built together, I got to see Raul's magnificent statues, giant cows, and most favorite is Minecraft, Mr. Reynolds. It is. That is my most favorite of your designs this year, Raul. I look forward to watching your here. But we've had a really great year, and we really can't thank the students enough. You guys, your passion, your excitement, your enthusiasm, but most importantly, thank you for sharing the mastery of your craft. And we're really looking forward to continuing to build esports here in Maine. So thank you guys. I'm so proud of you for sharing in front of everybody. It's not easy, so thank you so much.
And we're really excited about next year too, just for the fact that this year was different for everybody. So our original interest meeting, we got a lot of interest when the kids realized it wasn't just kind of a video game club. It dwindled a little bit. We did have that solid group and solid foundation. But still, it was an awkward year to try to get this information out. So we're really looking forward to next year when we can go to those grade level meetings and say, hey, we have an esports team. This is what we're doing. This is how we're competing. And these are the teams we're competing against. And you have the potential when this moves to the high school to get scholarships, to get varsity jackets, and play at those top tier levels. It's really amazing. The possibilities are endless, and these kids were so amazing just in their truth and their honesty and what it meant to each of them individually. And it was so different as to what it meant to each of them individually. So we learned more from them easily this year than they learned from us.
Most definitely. And looking forward, Garden State Esports is partnered with Twitch. They're doing a great deal over the course of the next year, offering internships, and they call it the career pipeline. And what we're really looking to do, this is a perfect visual of what it is we look forward to envisioning in the future. These are the careers of the future, and they've partnered with Jersey City University, so they can have, at the high school level and the middle school level, they can have college level esports players. And what you see here is video production and all the behind the scenes jobs that are also engaged in esports. So we are really looking forward to the future, really, truly. This year was amazing, and next year is going to be even more amazing. Thank you to the board, Dr. Rawls, Mr. Wells, and of course our wonderful PTSO. And as always, I like to thank the parents. Thank you for sharing your wonderful kids with us.
Thank you.
Reynolds, and an awesome shout out to Gavin and Raul and Dylan and Patrick. It's really not easy to do what you all did tonight. So shout out to you, and keep doing your thing. Maybe I'll see you all on this board, or even on Rocket League, because I'm a gamer myself. I don't brag, but I may have to committed to continue. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to recruit and retain students, all right? We're going to make sure that we're researching opportunities, and coaches have been great in this so far for esports. Continue our partnering with other districts. We're doing that now, and it's going to be global. There are going to be global partnerships that we're making with other districts around the world. And then, you heard this so much tonight. Continue to create affinity spaces for young people. Creating spaces for people who have diverse interests. You know, they like I think it may have been Dylan who said some kids may not want to play on an athletic team in terms of football or basketball, but maybe they want to get into esports. So this creates a space for that. And finally, the most important thing, the reason we do all of this is to continue to create connections between school and children. That is the most important thing. And I think you heard that tonight, and one of the young men said that. You know, if we can continue to connect young people to school, we're going to see ultimate success. And they're going to see ultimate success in their life. So once again, thanks to the Board of Education for allowing us this time tonight, and Dr. Micah for allowing us this time tonight. Go Huskies.
Thank you, Dr. Rolls, and ma'am students, thank you for being trailblazers and more importantly, sharing your stories tonight so we can all hear how important this is and what a great thing it is we're doing moving forward. So thank you. And we're going to get back to our business, so if you guys want to use this opportunity to leave or stay, you're more than welcome to do either.
Okay, we can continue with the committee reports. Curriculum and technology.
The curriculum and technology committee that was Mr. Bauer here, and we have quite a few updates. First, I'd like to mention about our elementary literacy task force. They are finalizing their decision on the different pilot programs for the K-5 ELA program, and the recommendation will be settled at some point this week, and the board will have a presentation with the recommendation and for the adoption of the new literacy program at the next board meeting on June 14th. So we look forward to hearing about that program. Teachers have worked diligently to pick the best, or are working diligently to pick that program for our students. The ESSER grant will help pay for part of this new literacy program. That's also exciting to hear. We will be continuing with the everyday math. The staff was able to complete all of the access testing for the ELL students and also the DLM testing for the special ed population. Those two assessments were the only ones needed for this spring. So a shout out to the teachers and administration and staff for getting that done with all the in-person and remote students. Our summer program, it looks like it's going to be a huge success this year. A lot of different programs than the usual summers that we've had. We have a large population going into the K-5 program. The locations are at Cookwood and Lloyd Road School. Good news is that the Y program is going to have a wraparound program if students are needed to continue the rest of their day at a summer program. MAMS is offering not only their credit recovery, but enrichment programs that involve some classes like coding and robotics and social justice book club. The high school as well is offering volleyball for the very first time, as well as PSAT and SAT programs for the summer. All this information has been sent out on the different newsletters from the different schools. So that is something to look forward to for the summer programs. Also, we have, the ESSER funds are also helping with many different PD programs for teachers this summer. And the programs will involve we're targeting, like the Wilsons Foundations, Orton Gillingham, and the Linda Bell to help teach strategies and improve reading skills and comprehension. So many teachers will be participating in that program. For their technology update, the Chromebook distribution at MAMS has been very successful. The district is working on more of a long-term plan that will be discussed in future meetings so that the students are kept with well-working computers. And that's for that. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Special Services, Programs, and Preschool Committee?
Thank you, Mr. Kevin. Okay, so I met with Ms. Perez, and so far for our summer school this year for our Gen Ed students, we have about 308 children that are going to be involved in summer school in Toronto. We have our ESY, which is our extended school year for our special needs population. 165 kids were invited, but we have 126 approximately attending. They also do get busing. Speaking from Ms. Whalen told me about the ESSER funding, which again, thanks to our administration for always looking for grants and getting extra funding. This also is going to help us with something called the Tier 6 submission, which is going to kind of be a extra person to help the kids with transitioning in September, to reach them back to school with any issues that they may be having coming back in. So that's great because, as I said, it's part of funding. And hopefully after a year, if we reapply, if we need, we can always try to get the ISA, Institute for Student Achievement grant, also yet another grant which is awesome, is the 30-month program that's for the 6th to 12th graders. And it includes a lot. It's going to be in-person coaching next year on social and emotional academic development. There's going to be coaching sessions. There's going to be walkthroughs of principles, coaching feedback, and there's going to be surveys going out to the staff and students. So that's great, and again, as I said, that was grant funded. Also, I think I touched last month, the New Jersey Coalition for Inclusive Education is also another grant, and this is great because we're getting some extra PD for about 20 teachers in our special ed and gen ed population. In Universal Design Learning, it's UDL, and it's some new strategies for the special ed and the gen ed population. So that's also something that, you know, that 20 teachers can also turn to and train our others. I think that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Personnel Policy and Athletics Committee?
Ms. Rayhorn, thank you. Thank you. George Bridgewater. I was on the committee, and we met on May 18th, which is a Tuesday. We discussed policy changes that are going to be shared with the full board starting in the month of June. The policy updates are really just combining several existing policies into one new policy, and also just looking at some of the language. As a result, the board will be asked to vote on abolishing the outdated policies. And all of the new policy updates will be shared with the board prior to the June 10th. The committee did take a few minutes, more than a few minutes, but we reviewed the district mentoring plan for the 21-22 school year. And the mentor plan has been shared with the full board. This plan will play a very important role in the district as they welcome several new staff members for next school year. So the personnel office has been working with the building principals to finalize the staff array for next year, the 2021-22 school year. And the staff array is going to be shared with the board on the June calendar. So that's all we have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Finance, Facilities, Food Services, and Transportation Committee?
Thank you.
So the Finance Committee met last week, which was Mr. Montone and Dr. Delaney, myself in this case, as well as Adam Nasser, who is the head of our facilities. God bless you. So to start with the finance section, this is now almost exactly a month since you've been here, this case. Isn't it great to be a Husky? So as Ms. Case continues to reorganize our books and make sure we have our money where we need it, we are happy to announce that we are going to be working and have bought a new playground. It's the pre-K playground for Cliffwood. It is inclusive, all-inclusive, so it's got wide ramps for complete accessibility. It's on the screen, but the board has this slip if you can't see it on the screen. It's got the large ramps to ensure accessibility, a couple of slides, a lot of sensory exhibits on the playground itself, balance beams, those little hopping leaf pad things. So I'm very excited about that. That's going to branch into the other playground that's currently on the ground there, and we'll continue to expand that. So that's good news. Sort of a wraparound with finance and facilities, which is the turf. We will be replacing the turf. I know some of us have kids on athletic teams. I know a lot of the board members have been on the field during the summer months in graduation, and it is beastly hot out there. The new turf will have the little pebbles that come up now. Apparently the technology has gotten so good that they actually open the coolant. So by getting the new turf, we should be able to reduce some of the temperature on the new turf, which is important for the kids' health and safety. If you've ever watched or seen a kid after they slide tackle in soccer, that's an important factor. If you've sat on that field during graduation, that certainly would be very helpful. We talked about doing the long-range facilities plan. That was supposed to happen during COVID, where we would have started it with strategic planning. Because we stopped our strategic planning sort of mid-stride because of COVID. There are some steps that are important to take in order to be able to intelligently discuss it as a board and as a community. So Mr. Nasser is going to want to start working with people on that to do an audit of what we have, what we need, what we might need in the future. The district is looking at retaining an architect to look at a building in town in the case that we need to expand because of our preschool expansion aid and increased enrollment. So we'll see if that comes to light. I'm happy that Ms. Case is putting and found more money to put into transportation. So that is a welcome, I'm sure, to most of the parents here. I know that when we did the new transportation policy, part of that was to put more people on the bus without having subscription buses. Based on the numbers that have come in my recollection way back when we did this, it looks like we've done just that. We put more kids on the bus because of that policy, so we do fewer subscription busing. That window is still open to apply, so that may increase. We talked about working on getting a camera system that would not just be helpful for any potential accidents that buses may incur, but really for safety of the kids, the safety of the bus driver themselves. That's something that could be live streamed. So for example, if a child is not back and you're wondering where the bus is, you can actually pinpoint it to that camera, that live camera, which I know in the past that's been an issue. Some routes have taken longer than we expected because of, let's say, construction, which brings me to the last thing that we discussed. It was very long meeting, and we had pizza, so nobody started, but it was a long meeting. We want to make sure that we have the best communication we can with both the township and the borough. It's no surprise, and it's certainly welcome that both the township and the borough are improving our streets. I know some of us have sort of done the wraparound and gone to Central for our committee meetings. So just imagine what it is for the buses, the parents who are trying to figure out where they're picking up their kid, when they are. So we want to make sure that we have, and since the township, I know, has a new township administrator, this case is new, so those relationships really, I think, will go in the right direction. And review the tax payment schedule, which I believe is on the agenda. Also on the agenda is a shared services agreement with Shrewsbury. I know since I've been on the board, and certainly the last couple of years, it's something that I wanted to see increase in terms of shared services. The district from that agreement alone will see at least an increase of revenue of about $7,500. That it continues to be a creative source of generating revenue in the right way, as well as saving money, which is important. So shared services are not a bad thing. And with that, I think that's everything. Okay. Pretty sure that's it.
Thank you very much to all the committee members. We're going to take a 2-minute break.
Backline.
We're back for backline. All right. Curriculum and instructions, Tom here.
Good evening. For Part A travel, we have 2 staff members attending the ASBO annual workshop. One at no cost to the district, one at the cost indicated. 1 staff member attended the New Jersey Association for the Education of Young Children Development in the Appropriate Practices Symposium. 1 staff member attended the College English Literature, a PSI summer workshop. 1 middle school teacher attending the Wilson Reading Introductory course, and 1 middle school teacher attending the Wilson Reading System Level 1 certification online course in practice. That is all for curriculum instruction.
Can I have a motion and a second to accept curriculum and instruction?
No motion.
Is there any discussion, any questions? Thank you. Special services, Perez.
Good evening, everyone. Special services for action and approval. We're asking for board approval to the addendum to the contract, which includes an additional layer of therapeutic support provided by Effective School Solutions at the Tier 2 level to support the broader number of students with mild, moderate, or episodic mental health challenges, and staff development to support our learning. This will be extremely critical, as significant research indicates the number of students who will experience mental health challenges upon their return to a more normalized school environment is likely to increase. The professional development to staff will focus on evidence-based practices and strategies to promote a supportive learning environment for all students. This is being funded through the ESSER funds, as shared earlier from the Special Services Committee. We expect that the clinician will be able to carry a caseload of 48 to 60 students over the course of the 4 years. That concludes that.
Thank you. Do I have a motion and a second to accept the special services agenda?
I'll motion. I'll second.
Thank you. Mr. Lehman, personnel.
Thank you. Good evening. All items presented will be for action this evening. Under Section A, resignations and retirements, 3 staff members listed, 1 with resignation, 2 staff members with retirement, effective dates are listed. Under Section B, leave of absence, 1 staff member listed with effective dates and reasons. Under Section C, appointments, following staff members will be recommended for hire with their effective hire dates. This is on the bottom of page 1, continues on the top of page 2. Item number 2, extracurricular for 2021, 3 staff members listed for AP mock exams with their amounts. Summer 2020 curriculum revisions, 1 staff member listed with hours and costs. Item 3, additional chaperones for middle school graduation for 2021, staff members' names are listed with costs. Item 4, staff rate changes for 2021, 2 staff members are listed on the bottom of page 2 with their overload and dates. This continues on top of page 3 with additional staff members listed. Item D, other 2021 school year. This is the HIB report from the previous board meeting. Item 2 is attachment from the board for summer recommendations for summer 2021. Item 3, home instructors for the 21-22 school year. Item 4 for the 21-22 school year, Brookdale Community College Pediatric Nursing Program for student observers with Brookdale Community College. The rationale provided is enforcement. Item number 5 for 21-22 school year, the comprehensive equity plan statement of assurances. This is an annual approval. And item number 6 for 21-22 school year, district mentoring plan, as was mentioned, committee report. This is an annual approval for the next school year. That concludes personnel.
Thank you. To have a motion and a second to accept the personnel agenda.
Motion.
Any discussion, any questions? Staff, Mr. Reedy, policy, please.
You recommend to the board for second read policy 0145, mandated policy for board member recommendation for removal. This is the second read. That concludes policy.
Thank you. To have a motion and a second to accept the agenda on policy.
I'll second Osbourne.
Any discussion?
I have a comment, and I'm on the committee, but I really had the thought last night when I was reviewing it, mostly apparently that's what I do. So my comment was the paragraph where it states that we need to give 48 hours to the board member who is the object of the removal. Nowhere in the policy does it state that we have to put the public on notice. Given that these are elected positions, it seems to stand to reason that the public should have notice before a board member's removal as well. So I was going to propose in that paragraph to add the board member shall have notice as well as the public, which means it would go on the agenda, would go out with the agenda. I would just ask if that could be added in as language for a second read.
Mr. Rubin?
Well, you can add, if you choose, the law does not require it. I'm trying to think of any of my school board clients who have that in their policies. None do. That doesn't mean you shouldn't, but it's not required. It's not common. If you think it's something you feel the need to do for constituent service, if you will, that's entirely your fault.
Would that then cause it to go back to a first read by putting an addendum in there, or can you just go to the second read?
So the question is whether this is we consider a substantial amendment. I mean, let me ask you this: does the board care? If the board, I would say that if the board members feel it's a substantial enough amendment that it should be convert this back into a first reading. The majority of the board feels that way, fine. If the majority of the board feels that they're okay with that amendment and want to treat this as a second reading, it's a little bit worth for that.
Thank you. Ms. Reedy, you want a motion?
I would make a motion to ask the board for consensus if they would object to adding that language tonight for a second read.
You have a second?
Can I just ask?
Can I ask a question?
Are we going to, if you're letting the public know, it's not to me the business of the public why?
No, it's not the business. It would be similar to when we've had teachers that have been let go or not on the rehire list. This is an elected position, so in my opinion, I thought that the public should have, if somebody wanted to remove me, then people who voted for me might want to say something about that. And if they don't have notice because it's not on the agenda, then how would they know?
Okay, but let me counter that by saying that people don't understand why you're being removed. Therefore, we can't tell them, which is the same thing that if it was a staff member, they don't understand why they're being removed. So why would we want to tell the public a half of the story, and then they come and argue the point that you should stay, but they really don't know why you're being removed? If there's a reason to remove you, then there's a reason for removal, and that's not privy to the public. So to me, them coming and vouching for you really doesn't make a difference, because obviously if we're moving forward, there's a reason that
that person clean the rooms.
Can I make a suggestion that we move this into executive session and for now we can table it?
If it would make it easier, I could withdraw my motion and make a new motion, put it on to the first one. Does that change? I'll withdraw my current motion and make a new motion to put this on for a second read the following meeting.
So you want to amend the proposed policy, and you want to propose that this be considered a first reading, and that's all that's happening there.
Yeah.
I think that was good order.
All right, I have a motion on the floor, and a second.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Luncheon?
Yes.
Ms. Osbourne?
Yes.
Ms. Bridgewater?
Yes.
Ms. Whalen?
Yes.
Mrs. Foley? Yes. Ms. Reagan?
Yes. Thank you. Finance, Ms. Kay?
Tonight, all action will be taken. One is the competitive contracting process. 2 is payroll and bills for April and May. Number 3 is transfer of funds for February and March. Number 4 is reporting for February and March. Number 5 is the revised payment schedule for Babylon for next year. Number 6 is the revised agreement for legal services, so we can go out to bid for the bond refinancing, which will take place tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Number 7 is the receipt of bids and awards for the track and field, and we will award tonight to the land expert. Number 8 is to receive bids for the parking lot and play area renovations at Ravine, where we will award for construction. 9 is to receive a proposal for the custodial and management services, and we would be approving to award Elmark for a 5-year renewal. 10 is the request for proposal for the landscaping, where we would award customer care services. 11 is the annual appointments for the 2 jobs delineated. 12 is the shared service agreement between Shrewsbury and us for business office services. 13 is substitute teaching and clerical services for next year. Renewal of Crisis Go software, and that ends the finance.
Thank you. Can I have a motion and a second to accept the finance agenda?
I'll second.
Any questions or discussion?
Just a clarification point, which I asked prior to, on the Crisis Go, that will maintain is our software and alert system, so just because it's on the agenda, nothing should be inferred about how September is going to look. Is that correct?
That is correct, 100%. I've been working with Lindsay over the last week to work on some of the other features, which is what they used for prior to COVID, as far as lockdowns go and things like that. So it has an extreme use to us that we would like to go into further.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure there was no misinterpretation.
Absolutely.
I have a quick question on number 7, the bids for the track and field. In this case, quick question is, do we have a warranty for that? What is the warranty for the service?
There is a warranty. I do not remember it off the top of my head, but I will be more than glad to email you the number.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on matters of interest to the school community. Individuals wishing to speak must state their name and address. Comments are limited to 3 minutes duration, but an individual may speak a second time after all others who wish to speak on the topic have been heard. All statements should be directed to the board president, and no participant may address or question board members individually. All speakers are requested to express themselves in a civil manner with due respect to the dignity and privacy of others whose legal rights may be affected. Please note, while it is not the board's intention to stifle comment on matters of legitimate concern, the public should be aware that if their statements violate the rights of others under the law of defamation or invasion of privacy, they may face personal liability to the injured party. If speakers are uncertain of the legal ramifications of their comments, the board urges them to seek guidance beforehand from their own legal advisor. So we're opening now for public comments relating to agenda items and additional matters. Okay, with that, we're going to move on to a vote and roll call on all agenda items.
Ms. Raymond? Yes. Ms. Martinez? Yes. Mr. Monson?
Yes.
Ms. Osbourne?
Yes.
Ms. Bridgewater?
Yes.
Ms. Whalen? Yes. Mrs. Foley?
Yes.
Mr. Egnor?
Yes. Any unfinished business?
I want to say at our last meeting, we had our Teachers and Nurses Appreciation Week, and we didn't highlight that at the last meeting, so I just want to say thank you to all of our teachers and our nursing staff for all your work, your hard work and dedication.
Thank you, Ms. Osborne. New business.
This past weekend was Relay for Life, and it was pretty amazing to watch kids play, just play. It's always a very moving experience. It's always a very sensitive experience. It's personal for me because I lost my mother to cancer, but it had a different level to watch kids just play and laugh on our fields. And I want to thank everybody who made that possible. The administration for allowing it to happen outside on the fields, Eric Friedman, no relation, and his team for organizing it again and working under, fly-by-night rules, not quite sure what would happen, what wouldn't happen. They adjusted, they did everything they need to. It was really a great event, and it was nice to see. So thank you.
I just have one thing I'd like to let the public be known. At the June 14th meeting, we will be recognizing 2 years of teaching this year and 1 or 2 years of retirement. 2 years of retirement, so we'll have a full house for that, and we're really looking forward to celebrating with them. Unfortunately, normally we have a Teacher of the Year luncheon that is done through the County Superintendent Association. Unfortunately, we can't do that this year. However, we have gotten gift certificates for all of the winners that we'll hand out also that night. And I'm looking forward to being back at Monmouth next year to celebrate our Teachers of the Year. But we are going to do the next best thing and celebrate them here at the next meeting. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Just want to touch on what Allison said to myself and Sherry. We were both out there as well. My husband was there and attended. He lost his father to cancer and lost his grandmother as well. So it was very emotional, and it was nice to have your children out there walking. It was more children than it was adults, so it was nice to see them actually participating and enjoying themselves out there. Thank you to all the vendors that were there. There was some giving out free items to the children there, and it was well attended. And also the girls' flag football team is over. They tried their best, and I feel like they had a good year learning how to do flag football. So thank you to all the administrations at the school allowing children to have more activities, just as a whole in these buildings. Thank you.
Really quick to that end, to add to the Relay for Life, I've already been talking with Eric. We're going to meet in the next 2 weeks to, normally it's a high school centric event. We're going to be expanding that to all of the schools next year so that they have some participation from all levels. So we're looking forward to that as well.
Thank you. Anyone else? Be it resolved that a closed session be convened for the purpose of discussion of privacy, personnel, and legal matters. The subject matter of these discussions will be disclosed to the public and the legal confidentiality subsides. Although the board cannot guarantee it, the length of the executive session is estimated to be 45 minutes, after which the public meeting of the board shall reconvene and proceed with business. Action will take place. We have a motion and a second to go into executive session.
I'll motion Osbourne.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion and a second to reconvene public?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
First order of business, personnel. Good evening, could you please say what?
Yes, thank you. We would like to recommend to the board, there's a walk-in item that's in front of you. We would like to recommend Dora Palandrano as supervisor of student services and programs, effective date July 1, salary is listed. That includes the walk-in item for personnel.
Thank you. Could I have a roll call, please? Oh, excuse me. Have a motion and a second?
I'll motion. I'll second Osbourne.
Thank you. Roll call?
Ms. Friedman?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Montone?
Yes.
Ms. Osbourne?
Yes.
Ms. Brisbois?
Yes.
Ms. Whalen?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole? Yes. Mr. Eger?
Yes. Welcome. Next order of business, as of June 1st, 2021, I am stepping down from the position of board president, and I'd like to make a motion to nominate Mrs. Scully to presidency of Madawan Avenue Board of Education. Do you have a second?
My pleasure, a second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Friedman?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Montone?
Yes.
Ms. Osbourne?
Yes.
Ms. Brisbois?
Yes.
Ms. Whalen?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole? Yes. Mr. Eger?
Yes.
May I just say something? Mr. Ayers, thank you for serving. I know it wasn't easy coming in stride, and I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Then following procedures, we have a nomination for Vice President of the Board.
Hello, yes, I'd like to nominate Kizzy Osbourne, please.
Do we have a second?
With pleasure, I second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Friedman?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Montone?
Yes.
Ms. Osbourne?
Yes.
Ms. Brisbois?
Absolutely yes.
Ms. Whalen?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole? Yes. Mr. Eger?
Yes. Do I have a motion and a second to adjourn?
Motion.
I'll second.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.